if we can ever get rid of the snow. We are underway in this hockey game. We welcome everybody listening on CJTT tonight, and we welcome our viewers on Cable 12 as always, as we do this, our dual duty again in this series. And out the Capitals come, dumping it into the Cubs zone. Robbie Peterson back there after it, being chased in there by Steve Albiani, bumped in on the boards. Peterson stays with the puck, gets it up to center. Cut off there by Tom Deloge. Back into the Cubs zone it goes. Greg Major to Andy Burnham. Andy's got a new sweater by the looks of things. Lost it in the last series. Here's Tim Safiris back the other way, right in front of Cubs. Burnham trailing the play. Backhand shot. Navarro can't control it. Close call there. The Cubs almost strike quickly. Here comes Arsenault. Now he just gets rid of it. And that's icing against the Capitals. So Tim Safiris just snuck in there and almost had one.
Well, pretty good start, Jack, and no question about it. Sudbury's going to take the body. They've had 2 good body checks already in the start of this first period. But the Cubs team look pretty comfortable out there tonight. And I think we're going to be in for a good game. I like the way this one's starting.
Face off to the right of Navarro. Pierre Rivard out there to take the draw against number 19 for Sudbury, Derek Arsenault. Cubs win it. Puck bounces off a stick to the corner. Cleared off the boards. Joel keeps it in. Now it's slid out. Rivard's back there. Fires it over on the far side to Brown. Now Scott backing up the play. Walks in. Lets the shot go. Where's the puck? It bounces off the top of the net. Cubs keeping control. And now it's cleared up off the glass and out past Joel. Chasing it down there, Spencer. He falls, and Joel's back. Fires it around behind the net on the far side. Scott couldn't control it. Comes to center. Rivard in over the line. Dumps it into the corner. Around behind the net it goes. Brown. Looking in front. His line mates are changing, so he just dumps it back in the corner, and he heads to the bench as well. Smart play there by Dave Brown, Jim.
Nice play.
Down it goes into the Cubs zone. Strone is going to let it go. Clear to the line, not out. Comes right in front of the net. Bouncing puck, and Strone reaches out with the left hand and picks it out of the air with a Sudbury player standing right there.
Well, Strone's in the game, no question about that. Very steady on that play. Good start. We're early here in the first period. Actually, the play has been both ends of the ice, and if it stays that way all night, we're in for a dandy.
Sudbury's been sitting for a while waiting for this thing to get going.
Well, Mike Heaphy says they're healthy. He says they're raring to go, and it looks like it out here tonight.
Cubs had a practice this afternoon, actually. Around noon they came out for a skate. Just to loosen things up. From the draw, there's a shot. Blocked in front, and out come the Cubs. Steve Alexander. In over the line, drops it. Right in front it comes. Jeremy Miller was tied up in front of the net. Trevor Swain taken to the boards in the corner to the left of goaltender Navarro. Puck in that Sudbury zone, comes out in front. Alexander takes a whack at it. He can't control it, and Swain gets rid of it down the ice. Seaman up to McLean. Nice pass to Alexander off his skate. Banks it around the boards, takes a heavy hit. Seaman pinching in now into the corner, round behind the net. McLean tried to center, it was intercepted. Seaman will keep it in. Dan Petrie getting it up along the boards to Nick Jones at center. Burnham back there to take it away. Andy Burnham to Safiris. And against Petrie. Petrie goes down behind the net, cleared around the boards there by Bondi. And out come the Capitals. Nick Katsoukas in over the line. Throws it in front, and flattened in front of the net there was Albiani, and back come the Cubs. Safiris runs into his man, knocks him down at center. Burnham, he avoids the check, and offside at the Sudbury blue line. No score in the game, and we'll be right back.
Well, a heavy hit there by Tim Safiris, Jack, and Nick Jones was the victim on that particular hit.
Okay.
A lot of good hits here early in the first period. Sudbury doing most of the hitting. Face off outside the blue line. Into the Sudbury end, over to the other side. Cleared into the center ice area. Dumped in by Arsenault. Sudbury player loose, couldn't get the puck. Arsenault picks it up again. He moves behind the net, but he's checked. Peterson moves it to the other side. They move it out to center ice, and that goes all the way down ice. Looks like we're going to get an icing call here, and we do.
There you go. And we are back live at the Liskeard Arena. We'll repeat that trivia question for you. The Cashwing Pinewoods trivia tonight is whose name was erased from the Cub record book when Tim Saphir scored 65 goals this season? If you know the player, give Mike Cutting a call at 647-6565. The prize, game tickets to the All-Ontario, courtesy of Nortel Mobility, Northern Telephone. Do that now, because he's waiting. From the draw, Bain. Down the ice it goes. And icing against the new Liskeard Cubs. I think Sudbury was kind of starting this game thinking the Cubs are going to come at us, they're going to come blitzing, but things have kind of calmed down now. They've weathered that storm in the first 3 or 4 minutes, and maybe things will even out here.
You're right, and some of the people figured that perhaps the Sudbury team wouldn't do much forechecking, and they didn't for the first couple of minutes, as you said, but they have in the last minute and a half, and the Cubs are dumping the puck.
Well, the Cubs will do that to you. They'll scare the heck out of you. And they just keep coming in waves, and they're in your face at all times.
Well, that's right, and they've got to just keep doing that, Jack. That's what got them here.
Oh, that's when they're playing their best. Against the Sioux, I think it was the second game. It was unbelievable the way they controlled that first period.
It sure was.
I don't think the puck ever got down into the Cubs zone the whole period. Here comes Brown. Pass intercepted at the line by Dale Verge. Doyle moving in. Wide of the Sudbury goal it goes. Scott taking his man into the boards. Wrap around attempt there. Navarro's got the pad down, and he gets the glove on the puck and creases it as Scott and Dale Verge push and shove in front of the net.
Things starting to heat up a little bit, Jack, and that's going to happen, you know. I mean, it'll take one game, maybe 2 games, but then things start to get a little bit more physical. The players remember things, and as long as we have a close score, nothing gets out of hand, and it hasn't up to this point, and it probably won't.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. Well, these two teams have a pretty good rivalry going on. Things can get heated at times. So the face-off in the Sudbury zone again to the right of Navarro. Gallo winning the draw. Swain takes a chop at it along the boards. And out comes Gallo. On the far side to Spencer. Sean Spencer had control. It was up over the glass. I guess Sean Spencer, I don't have the sheet with me, but I'm sure he was their leading point getter this year. He was one of their few guys in the top 10 or 20 scorers in the league.
Well, that I don't know, Jack, but we can tell the people that are listening that this Sudbury team is being built for next year's All-Ontario. They did cut a lot of veterans that could have played for this team this year and did play for the team last year, and they're building this team for next year's All-Ontario. And you know, it's not a bad-looking hockey club. Next year, they may look like the Cubs look this year.
True. Actually, they're building this team for the Canadians.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, it's the Canadian Championships that they bid on and got.
Great.
And actually, my guest at the first intermission will be Russ Harnell. I taped an interview with him earlier this week. He's not here tonight with the team manager, and of course, as you know, the outgoing commissioner. And he was the guy who worked very, very hard to get that Canadian Championship for the Sudbury team next year.
Well, that's excellent.
And I think we have a penalty coming up here, Jim, to the Liskeard Cubs. Steeman's going to go.
We sure do, and that's probably the first or second time only that the Liskeard team has been physical, and they get a penalty for it. I'd just like to say that the shots on goal favor the Cubs 5-1 at this point in time, but I will say this, that Sudbury have been around the Cup net a couple times, could have had very dangerous shots on goal, didn't get them, so shots on goal in this game may not be as important as others.
True. Face-off in the Cubs zone now. Sudbury on the power play. Seaman in the box. There's a shot from the point off the stick of number 24, Sakalaris. Brown behind the net. Now Swain trying to wrap around. Oh, and Strode, I don't know. He didn't. That hit the inside of his leg and came back out in between the pads, and he froze it, but he was very fortunate there.
He sure was, and I'll tell you, he looks pretty sharp out there, Jack.
He does. He's, as we said before, a very big kid in there. When he's doing things right, he can be very, very tough to score on.
Yeah, he covers a lot of net. You know, that bodes well for him.
So the face-off in the Cubs zone again. This time, Major gets it, but not out. Sakalaris lets it go. Strode the save. Juggles it and reaches out and grabs it again. And he looks sharp in there. That's a good sign for the Cubs.
Well, it sure is, and the 1:38 left in the penalty, and The Cub team having a bit of trouble with this Sudbury team on the power play.
So again, it'll be Gallo against Pierce. Major behind the net, tried to find an opening, gets it to, and stolen away. But good thing that Krieger was there. He took it out of harm's way. Now he has it again. Jake Gibson had a little trouble with that, but his teammate was there to save him. Cubs get it out and down the ice. 1:18 left in the power play. Sakalaris behind the net. Round the boards it goes to Nick Jones. He takes a hit from Safiris, but gets it out to center. Trevor Swain in over the line with Sakalaris. Tries to feed it through its block. Goes to the side of the net. Major grabs it and fires it out and down the ice with 59 seconds left in the Sudbury power play. 14:41 left in the first period. Still no score in this game. Sean Scott at center, takes the puck away, gets it to Joel, the Bain back in his own zone. Back for Joel, finds the opening and gets it to center. Sakalaris knocks it down. Now, Sudbury dumps it into the corner. Joel going in there against Spencer. Richard Spatafor doing some good work, gets it behind the net to Spencer. He's bodied off the puck by Joel, comes right up front, and Stroni looked behind him, but he had it underneath the pads, and he just lays down, stretches out that big body, and freezes it. So a close call there. Sudbury almost finding the net.
Very big save there for the Cubs, and with 23 seconds left in the penalty, Sudbury have had some good scoring chances. We said the shots on goal may not mean a lot. We didn't mean there wouldn't be shots. The shots on goal now are 5-5.
And we have 23 seconds left on this Sudbury power play, and another face-off in the Cubs zone. Cubs win it. Major will take it. Turns away from his man. Now loses it. Spencer getting it back to the point. To Petrie. Back to Spencer along the boards. Spatafor behind the net. Dumps it back into the corner. Jake Gibson in there working. He tried to lift the stick and missed. Spatafor controls. Spencer behind the net. Falls down. Tries to center it. Rivard's there and finds the opening down the ice. Penalty is over, so the Cubs kill it off. Navarro clearing it all the way up the center, but the Cubs intercept and dump it back in. Deloge. Gibson taking a run at his man on the far side. Deloge again comes up with the puck. Speeds it up to center. Arsenault backhands it into the corner. Stroni got a stick on it. Now Jeremy Miller. Stood up at the line there by Steve Albiani. High in the air now, down into the Cubs zone it goes. Where Deloge gets back on the puck, throws it to center. And another penalty coming up here to the Cubs. Joel's going to go for tripping.
Well, Jack, we've got 13 minutes left here in the first period. Cubs take another penalty, and they were under a lot of pressure on that last penalty. And I noticed that the box that the Cubs had in front of the net got very small a couple times, and that gives the point men a lot of times to get the shot away. They're going to have to play their positions a little bit stronger, and they're going to have to really play with a lot of discipline here now.
We should mention tonight that the referees from North Bay, neutral referee, the linesmen are local.
The referees are all neutral, Jack.
Good point.
I mean, I don't buy that kind of stuff.
A neutral site referee, let's put it that way. Here's Krieger now, short-handed for the Cubs in over the line. Trying to do it all by himself, loses the puck. And it comes to center, here comes Kotsoukas. Kotsoukas trying to cut around Seaman, centered it out in front, and it's tipped wide there by Albiani. Sudbury still in control on this power play. Centered in front again. Seaman tips it away. Sudbury still in control. Behind the net is Jones trying to wrap it around. Couldn't put it in. Sakalaris wrist one high in the air. Seaman got his hand on that and knocked it down. Jones with Krieger along the boards. Albiani getting it back to the point. There's a shot by Bondi right on. Goes right onto the stick of Bain, and he gets it to the line, and out it comes. Sakalaris is there to intercept and dumps it back in. 59 seconds left in this Sudbury power play. Down the ice it goes. The Cubs will change their penalty killers. McLean jumping on the ice now with Brown. And here comes Sakalaris. Pass off the skate of Arsenault. Backing up the play is Bondi. Back comes Brown the other way now, short-handed. Tries to get a shot away off the stick, high in the air, goes to the boards, cleared up, and out, down into the Cub zone. Peterson chasing it down. Oh, and he falls into the boards as he tried to turn. That could have been a dangerous play. Sudbury now in control now on this power play with 19 seconds left, and good play there by Brown to force the Sudbury player out over the line. Major finds an opening and all the way out and over the glass, not a play.
That one's on its way up to the hubble.
Yeah, still no score, and we'll be right back.
Well, for the folks that are still with us on cable TV, there's 9 seconds left in the Cub penalty, and Sudbury have been a pretty good-looking hockey team to this point in the first period.
Okay.
The face-off will be to the right of the Cub goaltender, Stroney. Sudbury's Steve Gallo will take the draw. You still with us, Jack? Play in the Cub end, and it's not cleared out. There's a shot on net. Good save. Puck comes loose to Rivard.
And we are back. Thank you, Jim, for carrying on cable there as we took a break on radio. Sudbury getting another good shot on net, but the Cubs kill that penalty off. So they kill off back-to-back minor penalties, and it's still scoreless. Deloge in over the line, working against Seaman. Now here comes Miller for the Cubs back the other way, and that's offside. You can see Sean Scott, he was tied up on the far side and got pushed in over the line a little bit and threw that play off.
I don't want to make a big issue of it, Jack, but I do agree with the big boys' assumption and comments on refereeing. The guys referee all year. They referee in some arenas with no crowd. They're out on nights at 40 below, and when the playoffs come and there's some interesting games to do, they bring in somebody else. I don't think that's fair.
There you go. Denise, you agree with that?
Aye.
Oh, I'm all for our local referees, so I think they do a good job. But Sudbury asked for the neutral this time around, so you ask and you shall receive, they said. Here come the Caps. Albiani had a little trouble with that. Dumped it in. Sudbury has to clear the zone. Comes out to center. Dale Bear stands on a pass, goes back into the Cap zone, and chasing it down there is Sakalaris. In behind the net, he stops. Now Krieger's right on him, so he has to hurry and gets it up to Jones at center. Bears again. Gets it to Katsukas. The Cubs break that up, and Burnham comes back the other way. Nice pass to Krieger, offside at the line with 9:47 to go, and still no score. And boy, this is as long as we've gone in a while without a goal.
Well, it sure is. And Big Andy Burnham made a pretty slick play there, Jack. He just about sprung Krieger at the blue line. It wasn't offside by a lot, and he could have had a good scoring chance there. Nice play by Andy.
So the face-off outside the Sudbury blue line. Rivard in there against Derek Arsenault again. Seems to be the matchup here tonight. Pair of 19s. Puck goes to the boards. Scott shoving with his check there. It's clear to the Cub line. Back to center it comes, and glove to head is the call from one Cub to the other.
Well, we're certainly running into a fair number of whistles here. It slowed the game down a little wee bit, but, you know, it's had a pretty good tempo up to this point. There's been some good hits, some good scoring chances, and some good goaltending.
And we have a winner in our trivia, by the way, and we'll let the people know in our second intermission just who that winner is.
Very good.
And we'll play again on Sunday night in Game 2 of this series, so join us in our pregame show for the question at 7:20 on Sunday evening. An earlier start. Here come the Cubs into the Sudbury zone. Brown overskates it, flipped high in the air, up and out of play. I think that hit the booth underneath it.
Well, it sure did. And the Sudbury Cara Capitals are plugging up that center ice area. And as you know, the Cubs like to break up through the center ice area and spring somebody, and Sudbury not letting them do that yet tonight.
I think we really haven't seen the Cubs turn on the offense yet, but I think if they were ever to get a power play, we might see a little bit of firepower. And I don't imagine they'll go all night without one. Bondi for the Caps around the boards. Joel. Scott takes that away. Here's Brown back to Scott in front. It's intercepted. And And here comes Trevor Swain. He's checked. Gallant couldn't get anywhere with it on the far side. Gallo up there. Swain misses that puck inside the Cubs zone, and here comes Sean Scott. Cutting around his man, drops for Brown, cutting in, and he just missed. Brown continuing to work in the corner, digging for that puck, trying to get it out in front. Swain golfs at the puck, and it comes out to center. Major having a little trouble with it, but regroups and gets it back in. He and Swain take a poke at each other. There's a pass, gets by everybody down into the Cubs zone. Oh, Major got his stick caught in a crack in the board, and he went down. Seems to be okay. Now here's a steal inside the line. Jones just couldn't turn quick enough to get loose, and the Cubs get back and break that up. Dale Burge keeping it in for the Caps around the far side. Katsoukas is there. He'll one-handed off the boards. McCrank dumps it to center. McLean. McLean's got a break. He's got Miller with him. Having trouble with the puck. Scores!
Well, a great goal there by the Cub player. And I can tell you that the Sudbury Capitals had 4 men in forechecking over the Cub blue line, and that caused the breakaway. No question about that. The Cub player had a little trouble with the puck, but McLean managed to get the backhand. It looked like a backhand from up here, Jack. Very pretty goal.
It was, yeah. He had a little trouble with it at first, but recovered right at the last second and put it in.
But that's what happens when you've got this kind of offense. You said that a short while ago, and you know, you can play as tight as you want to play, but sooner or later they're going to get a break.
Yeah, the mistake they made there was just pinching too many guys up, and 4 guys, and that cost them. So it's 1-0 Cubs here in the first period with 7:41 to go. Krieger. High in the air, up and out of play. 1-0, the Cubs lead it, and we'll be right back.
Well, Cub defense certainly seemed to be having a little bit of trouble in their own end handling the puck, and I don't know whether the ice is soft or whether they're just a little bit jittery, but I've noticed they've had a little bit of trouble coming out of their own end, and the score is 1-0 for the Cubs, but they face off in the Liskeard end. Their shot goes wide of the net. Burnham, he clears it to the point. It's kept in there by Delage. Delage clears it into the corner.
We are back live on CJTV. Cubs playoff hockey with the Capitals, the opposition in game 1 of this Best of 5 semifinal tonight. Cubs have a 1-0 lead. In fact, they come. And a save by the barrel. Here's Burnham. Battling with Spatafor in there. Moving in to help out is Deloge. Capitals slide to center. Spencer trying to get away from his team, and he was tied up. Throwing will play it around behind the net. Now Spencer dumps it back into the corner. Down behind the net it goes. Gallo in there trying to take it free. Swain out in front. It comes and is tipped away by Krieger. Krieger all by himself now against 3 Sudbury players. Burnham's catching up on the play. He's knocked down, and there's going to be a penalty here to the Capitals. So the Cubs will get their first power play of the game.
6:36 remaining here in the first period, and as Jack mentioned, the first power play for the Cubs. The shots on goal are fairly even, Jack. I've got them 8-7 in favor of the Cubs.
Well, this is one of the closest games the Cubs have played in quite some time.
Been a good first period.
Yeah.
And I noticed a few signs out, the little hand over there and the whole deal. You know, that's pretty good.
And for those who get to see this game on Cable 12, you'll get to see those signs.
That's right.
Even the ones upside down.
Even the ones upside down?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, they didn't know it was upside down. So a face-off upcoming in the Sudbury zone to the right of the barrel. McLean, the goal scorer, in there against Gallo. Cubs to win it. They're on the power play. McLean. Trying to cut the score! Sean Scott! That's how quick they can do it to you.
Well, they certainly controlled the puck in the Sudbury end. The Sudbury team was outmanned, no question about that. And Sean Scott made no mistake. I mean, you don't get a better play than that. The 2-0 lead, well deserved. 6:30 left here in the first period, and it's got to be frustrating. I mean, Sudbury did come out for 15 minutes in this first period. They played the way they were supposed to play, and they're down 2-0.
Yeah, what can you say? Had 2 goals in a minute 25. Curtis McLean and Sean Scott doing the damage. Tatsukas had Scott tied up, but he just couldn't control him. And Sudbury just gets rid of him. Top line. Doyle back there. Off the glass of the line, comes out to center. Rivard steals it away. Oh, and he almost got by Ruick. Now Scott tried to center. Brown throws it in front and knocked away. Brown taken into the boards heavily in the corner of the Sudbury zone. Scott trying to come out in front. He's all tied up. And Jones will get a hold of it and slide it up to the top blue line. Now back comes Brown. Brown to Scott. Back for Brown. A little too far. He'll chase it to the corner. Side of the net. Navarro has to play it. Miller in behind there, or rather Rivard in behind the net. Battling forward and we'll get a face-off. 2-0. The Cubs lead it and we'll be right back.
Well, I sure like the way Sean Scott's moving around out there tonight. He looks in the game for sure. Very noticeable out there, having a very good first period. 5:35 left here in the first period. The face-off will be to the right of goaltender Eric Navarro for the Sudbury Nickel Center Capitals. Derek Arsenault will take the face-off against McLean. Comes to the point. Gibson takes the shot, and he scores. Gibson gets the goal. What a shot from the point. Looks like it might have been deflected. That runs the score up to 3-0.
And as we just come back, the Cubs make it 3-zip, as you might have heard Jim mention. So it's that quickly. It's 3-zip now for the Liskeard Cubs. And again, Jim, who do you think put that one in?
I think it was Jake Gibson. Sorry about that, Jack.
No problem.
Jake got a great shot away from the point. It could have been deflected. If it was, I think it might have been off of the Sudbury Capital player. 3-0 the score here with 5:32 remaining in the first period, and the Cubs are starting to wheel.
So 3 goals in less than 3 minutes here. You're right.
Well, Jake didn't get a lot of goals in the season. He's saving them for the playoffs.
That's when they really count.
Well, you know, all kidding aside, Jack, I watched this team play all year, of course, and I think he's improved tremendously. He's really steady out there.
And of course, in case you missed it, he is the Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely.
So, Jim, as you mentioned, it's got to be frustrating for Sudbury, who were doing what they wanted to do, but it's still 3-0 Cubs. Here's Swain. Getting it to center. Gower. Dumps it in. Come on. In there chasing it. Swain as well. Runs into Gibson, and Miller comes back with it. Here comes Alexander. Gets around his man. Tried to hit. Oh, right in front of McLean, and just off the heel of his stick. Miller. Taken to the boards there by Deloge. Miller again dumps it in behind the Sudbury goal. Sakalaris rolls it around, takes the hit, and comes up to Gallo. Miller right on him. Now Seaman picks up that loose puck. He'll just dump it in, head to the bench. Cubs changing. Burnham on the ice now. Greener as well. Now here's the Pierce trying to come out in front. He was down, comes to the side of the net. Going to try the wraparound. Burnham in the corner. Cubs with the pressure here. In front it comes and slides right into Navarro, and he's going to hang on with 4:19 to go here in the first period, and the Cubs with a 3-0 lead.
Well, I don't know what the strategy is. Like you mentioned earlier, Jack, Sudbury did come out and played a pretty good first period up to this point. I noticed a few little shots after the whistle and things like that. Not a good strategy against this Cub team, because you're not going to beat them with that kind of a hockey game.
No, and I think if Sudbury hadn't scored on those power plays they had earlier, they had chances, but didn't put it in, and now they're down 3-0, and boy, I don't know if they can come back against this team.
You're right about that.
You have to cash in on your chances when you're playing the Cubs, because eventually they will come and get you. Puck high in the air, down into the Sudbury zone, and Peterson was all tied up and caught inside the line. Now he's back up on his feet, bumps his man at center. Here comes Kotsoukas. Long shot. Nice glove save by Stroni as he stretches out that left hand.
Well, sure, a great save by Stroni, and Stroni has been in this first period. He's been very, very sharp, and I just want to make a little comment here, and let's see if it develops from that. But I've noticed that in the last 5 or 6 minutes, there's been a fair bit of little taps after the play, behind the shin pads, and if this official is an OHL official, we may get that all night, and I'm not sure that that's fair to the teams, because that isn't what they got all year.
That's true. Bain behind the net from the face-off in the Cubs zone. Gets it up to Brown on the right side, in the middle to Rivard, and in over the line. Now here's Brown trailing the play. Lets it go. The puck's loose in front, and that's empty. And Navarro stretches out and smothers it. Cubs came close to number 4 there.
Well, they sure did, and you know, the other thing that might be happening here, Jack, is let's be realistic about this thing. This Cub team had a tremendous year. Every line they throw out there can score goals. Sudbury may not be able to handle every line, every shift.
Well, I think that's a fact that they probably can't. They couldn't do it through the season, and the Cubs certainly aren't playing worse hockey than they did during the year, probably better. In the corner in the Sudbury zone. Spatafort can't get it out. Brown throws it in behind the net to Scott. Chips it by his man. Brown behind the net. Backhands it into the corner. Sean Scott trying to center it. He's tied up. And Nick Jones gets it. And it's tipped out to center by Arsenault. Here's Spatafort all by himself inside the Cup line. He's checked easily, and the Cubs will get it, shoot it down into the Sudbury zone. And they'll change. McLean on the ice along with Miller and McCrank. The Kirkland Link connection. Here's Miller. Right in. Oh, and he just had to go off the heel of his stick. Now McCrank in front. And Navarro got it at the side of the net. And we get a whistle with 2:45 to go here in period number 1. Again, my first intermission guest is Russ Farnell, the manager of the Sudbury Capitals. An interview I taped earlier this week, and we'll talk about the Canadian Championship coming to Sudbury next year, and what this Sudbury team's been up to and what the organization's been up to as well. So stay tuned for that. We'll get to that right after this first period. From the draw, puck slides onto the stick of Deleuze and gets it down the ice. Seaman with Swain right on him. Seaman turns and fires it up and out of play, and he has the crowd ducking on the far side.
Well, certainly the 3-0 score has sort of changed the flavor of this game somewhat, Jack. Sudbury team looks like they're a little bit tentative there at the moment, and why wouldn't they be? They're not skating with the sureness that they were in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Well, the 3 goals will change the strategy of a hockey club. They came in here trying to keep this close and play defense, and now they have to open it up and score goals if they're going to have a chance. And that will play into the Cubs' hands for sure. McCrank behind the net. McLean, and in the middle of Miller. He almost broke away. Zakalaris just fires it back into the Cubs zone off the boards. Seaman taking it behind the net. Kept in, Swain, the shot, high in the air, the puck's bouncing, and it's in behind the net. Strode got a piece of that. There's a shot from the point, blocked by Miller. And out comes McCrank. McCrank gets it up to McLean. 2-on-1 and over the line. McLean over to McCrank, and it went off a skate. And the Capitals will get it to the line, but not out. Now on the second effort, they do get it out. Here comes Swain. Seaman intercepts that pass for the Cubs and dumps it back to the Sudbury line. Krieger now at his line. One hands it over to Sapiris. In over the line he comes, lets it go, and he fired that wide. Sapiris back into the corner to Krieger in the Sudbury zone. In front it comes Sapiris. It's all tied up, and he banned on the shot. Nick Jones, long pass up on the wing, knocked down, and here come the Cubs again. Sapiris back the other way, drops it back for Burnham, and he didn't see it. And the Capitals just get rid of it to the Cub line. Major having a little trouble with it. Now he loses it in front, and a save by Strode. Another centering pass, and Burnham's there. Nick Kotsoukas was all alone in front, and Strode beat him. Sapiris lets lets it go off a stick, and Jones will pick up the loose puck. Less than a minute to go here in the first period. Cubs leading 3-0. Superior shot the other way, blast one right on. Navarro knocks it down and is cleared up the center. Joel rifles it right back in. And now delayed offside, they finally blow it down. With 32 seconds to go in the period, so some good action there on both ends of the ice.
Lots of good action there. Shots on goals to this point in the first period. The Cubs have 14 shots. Sudbury Capitals have 11.
So Sudbury's getting their chances, but Stroney has been making the saves.
Yeah, Stroney has been very sharp in this first period.
Here's Alex Bain taking it from the draw. Over to Joel, into the Sudbury zone and goes with 26 seconds to go in the period. Spatafor gets it up, and here come the Caps. Arsenault gets it over center, fired it wide. Caroms all the way to the line, and out to center it comes. Shot back into the Cubs zone. Stroney out there to flag that down. He's going to hang on with Spatafor standing right in front of him. And we'll get a face-off in the Cubs zone.
Well, we're down to 10 seconds here, Jack. The 3-0 score on the board. The face-off will be in the Cubs' end, and the Cubs are having a little trouble in their own end. I don't know if it's pressure from Sudbury or just the way the puck is bouncing. But once they get it out, away they go.
Yeah, their transition game is really clicking tonight. Turning things around very quickly.
Pretty nice looking crowd here if you consider what's in the playing area and then look upstairs at the casino.
3 goals in 2 minutes and 23 seconds, if my arithmetic is correct, and that's the difference in this game. The Cubs with a 3-0 lead. Here's a centering pass. Right in front it comes. A save by Stroney. The puck bouncing around and right at the buzzer. He smothers it. And he comes up big in this period, making some key saves. And the Cubs get the offense clicking, and they'll have a 3-0 lead going to the dressing room. And Jim, what were the final shots in that period?
Well, I've got the Cubs at 14, and I've got Sudbury at 14. So there you are.
Go. Very close period of hockey for people watching on Cable 12. We'll be right back with... Ready here for period number 2. We're underway, and again we welcome all the people watching on Cable 12. If it's Monday night, you're watching the Cubs in Sudbury in Game 1. And if you're listening on CJTT, this is live and in color. Puck going off the Sudbury player, Gallo, up without a play, and that almost caught him in the head. He turned at the right time.
Well, what the Cubs don't want to do, Jack, is do anything different. I mean, they've got their game plan. They know what they did all year and just keep doing it.
Yeah, and when they do it well, don't they?
They sure do.
Krieger in there against Gallo, right in front of the Cub bench on the face-off. Nick Jones banks it off the boards to center for the Caps. Krieger's there to throw it back to the Sudbury line. Dumped in to the right of Stroney by Petrie of the Caps. The Cubs just get it right back out again, and it's glove from Krieger to Burnham right in the center ice area, and it's blowing dead. Just underway here in the second period, and if you just joined us, the Cubs have a 3-0 lead, and we have a winner in our Cashway Pinewoods Cubs trivia tonight. We'll let you know who that is in the second intermission. So,
very popular fellow.
You know who he is. We know who he is.
We sure do.
Everybody up here knows him. Can't tell you. Second intermission. Who do you think this is, anyway? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little stoppage in play here, Jack. I'm just not sure what's going on. I think Krieger's asking an interpretation of why the face-off is where it is, because he thought that the puck might have been knocked down by a high stick, but I think it was gloved to head.
Yeah, it was Krieger to Burnham, actually. And that we saw because it was right in front of us. Here comes Krieger, speeding to center and over the line. Drops it back for Safiris, but a nice play there by Derek Arsenault, and now back the other way. Spencer centered it in front, and he had Spatafor there, but he was all turned around, couldn't find the puck. Katsukas can't keep it in, and here come the Cubs. Safiris over the line, lets it go, and the save rebound comes right out in front. Krieger hustling in there. Can't pick up the puck. Sudbury will get it out to center. But the Cubs are in control. Joyelle back to the line to Safiris. Gets it up to Greg Major, who's moved up. He has a little trouble with it. Now he backs off. Spears carries on. No, down he goes with Spatafor. Burnham's in there. He takes a bump. Arsenault for Sudbury. Getting it around the boards, and out comes Spencer. He's checked, and Rivard has it. Long pass up the middle by everybody, and that's icing against the New Liskeard Cubs. 18:28 to go here in the second, and a nice crowd, as you said. They continue to file in.
They sure do. Pretty nice play there by young Rivard, Jack. When he did get the puck in the center ice area, he was looking to spring one of those two forwards, and they were lurking around the Sudbury blue line. Dangerous play, could have clicked, didn't. Score remains 3-0. 18:28 left here in the second period.
Face off to the left of Stroney. JR has played a strong game here tonight. Made some nice saves in that first period. There's a shot right in on goal. Bouncing puck with traffic in front, and the big guy finds it and hangs on once again. We'll have another face-off to his left.
A little bit of a slow start here to the second, but you have to expect that. Sudbury are some way going to have to find a way to slow the Cub team down and take those scoring chances away.
Yeah, I guess their strategy is to keep playing the defense the best they can and peck away and hope they can get back in this.
That's all they can do.
Yeah, as you said, they don't want to open this thing up or it'll be over in a hurry. There's the puck cleared out of play by Bain. The Cubs still lead 3-0 and we'll be right back.
Face-off is going to be in the Cub end to the left of the goaltender Stroney. Koutsoukis will move in to take the draw against Rivard. Rivard got the draw and it's cleared down ice. Team's playing at full strength. Number 7, Tommy Flog goes back for it. He moves it out, up to center ice, and it's taken away by Rivard. Rivard control, moves to the other side to Scott, into the center ice area, nobody home. Picked up by Rivard, and Rivard couldn't get the shot away as Scott was offside.
And they didn't miss a thing while they were away. No goals, no shots on net. And we come back to an offside call.
Well, you know, Jack, a number of years ago, Mike MacArthur and I used to do this, and I'll tell you, we were doing some series between Hillebury and New Liskeard in the juvenile days, and when something would happen while the commercials were on, Mike had the play in his mind, and he had it when he came back on the air just as if it was flying.
He just repeated it, like it was on tape. Here's Swain for Sudbury, clearing it out to center onto the right side. Alexander hustles over there and fires it back in. Navarro got it tied up with the side of the net of the puck and had to jump out of the way there. It's a dangerous play. Here's McLean letting it go, and that goes off the skate to the corner. Swain rifles into the line, and out it goes down the ice. Stroney will play it for Jake Gibson. Gets it to Seaman. Up to McLean. Nice pass. McLean had a little trouble with it though. Had to knock it down with his glove. He battles with Swain on the far side, and Miller comes up with it. Back there is Bears for Sudbury. There's it out to center, but Seaman's there for the Cubs, and he fires it right back in. And now he heads to the bench. Ferris knocked down in the corner, and Sudbury will come out. Here's Gallo. He's got Swain in front. Can't catch up to it. Major fired it around.
That was a shot on goal.
Stroney made a move to save that. Here's big Greg Major again moving up. In over the line. He's checked. And Sudbury trying to go back the other way, but a good play by McLean to break that up. And here comes Andy Burnham. He's got Major going to the net, and he took the shot and just missed on the short side. Here's Spatafor now in over the Cub line. He's got a man in front, and he shot it. It comes right out in front, and Stroney clears it away. Side of the net, Krieger. Burnham's there now trying to get rid of it. Gets it up along the boards to Spears, and he'll get it out to center. Blasts along the shot wide of the Sudbury goal. Krieger takes a whack at it, fans on it. Now Peterson from the point. Right in front of the net it goes, and it comes to Spatafor. And he comes back to center. Shot off Major's stick. Stroney plays it to the corner. Major clears it to the line, and out to center it comes. Petrie clears it in offside. Well, I guess they're going to call that in intentional offside?
Well, and you know, I think that's a good call, actually. There was no reason for that to be an offside. The player just had to clear the zone. 15:53 left here in the second period. The score remains at 3-0. And I noticed the last series of plays that the Sudbury Capitals were playing 3 men back, and they were plugging up that center ice area again. That strategy started the game, and they held the Cubs in check for 15 minutes, so we'll see what happens here.
The Sudbury player talking to the referee about the call. Now what? I don't know. He signaled like it was an intentional offside, but was he overruled?
I'm not sure.
It's staying outside the Cub line. Joyelle from the draw, fires it around behind his net off the glass, comes to Sean Scott. He gets it up. Here's Rivard racing it over the line. Drops it back. Joyelle walks in, and the save by Navarro, who came way out, cut down the angle. Sent it out front, and it's right onto the stick of Sakalaris. And he can't get it out, and now it's brought back in offside.
Boy, you talk about a big league play by young Rivard. He heard the call, and he put that puck on Joyelle's stick like a great play, and it was a great save. Otherwise, it would have been another Cub goal.
Yeah, Navarro read that pretty well, and he got over there and came out, and Joyelle had really nowhere to put it. I guess he could have made a move on him, but he was right in on top of it.
Well, you don't have many seconds to think about that.
No, that's right, yeah. That was a good play all around.
Very good play.
Nice to see Rivard skating like that. I guess he was bothered by a bit of a hip injury or a knee injury, I think, near the end of the year.
Okay.
Seems to be loosening up now, though. Dennis Marsh, number 22, Jim. I think this is the first time he's been on the ice tonight for Sudbury. Trying to battle his way in. And he comes in front and fans on the shot. And back come the Cubs quickly the other way. Sliding one in, Navarro's going to hang on to that. Cubs lead it 3-0, and we'll be right back.
Well, Jack, it looks like the Cubs are trying to pick up the play a little bit here in the second period. They're moving the puck a little quicker, and they're trying to headman it a little bit more than they did in the first period. And if they continue to do that, Sudbury may have a lot more trouble than they had in the first period. The face-off will be to the left of Navarro. Arsenault will go in to take the draw with McLean. McLean gets the draw, comes to the point, comes to the other side to Gibson, back to
live
Seaman.
action. Cubs and Sudbury here on CJTT. We'll have game 2, by the way, on the Sunday night at 7:30. Our pregame show is 7:20. And the Cubs on the attack as McCrank tried to center it. He was knocked down. Miller in there. Here's McLean getting back, intercepting a pass at center, and lifts it high in the air into the Sudbury zone. Nick Jones off the boards. McCrank intercepts that. McCrank in front, and off the side of the net. McLean trying to jam it in on the other side, and the Caps will freeze it and hang on. There's some good work here by this former Kirkland Lake Region 87 line.
They're skating pretty well out there. They're moving the puck well. Sudbury not getting enough time to check them. And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, if this is the trend in the second period, we're going to see a few more goals.
Sudbury changing their line. Katsukas comes in to take the draw against McLean. Here's McLean from the draw, walks in. McCrank's got the empty net, and he fanned on the shot. Oh, he'll be dreaming about that one, Jim.
He sure will.
He had the empty net dead center, and he just fanned a bit, and then his stick was lifted, and he couldn't find the puck, and it's still 3-0 Cubs. McLean made a heck of a play there, right from the draw, walking in. Seaman behind the net in his own zone now. He's bumped. McCrank back there. Puck comes loose. Lifted high in the air to center. Back there to get it for Sudbury was Clement. He cleared it into the Cubs zone. Gibson throws it right back out. Jeremy Miller hustling down the left side. Fires it in. Loge tried to get it out, but Seaman pinched it along the boards and kept it in. Comes to the side of the Sudbury net. Navarro didn't know where it was, but it's cleared out of harm's way and shot down the ice. by Nick Jones, and that's icing against the Sudbury Capitals.
A little bit of heat there, Jack, and on that play, I think what might have happened on that, you know, you hear some of the big shooters in pro hockey, and they say they don't care whether they got an empty net or they got a goaltender out of the net. They blast that puck, and it looked to me like the Cub player was going to just try and give us a little shot into the net, and if he'd have taken a real blast at the thing, he might have got the goal.
Face off to the right, or rather left of the barrel, it's in Severe's goal. Takes the draw against Steve Gallo. In no man's land there, and Severe's took a whack at it. Cleared off the board, knocked down by Major, and he puts it right on the stick of Swain. Long shot right on. Easy save for Stroney, and Peterson clears it around behind the net. Burnham back there, having a little trouble with it. Burnham again. This time he'll skate it out. Gets it up on the wings of Severe's. Tried to tip it by his man, and he's trailing the play, and that's offside at the Sudbury line. With 12:59 to go here in the second period. In our second intermission, Stephanie Stanger will be along with a local news update for you, and of course we'll give you the winner of the Cashway Pinewoods Cups trivia, and that person has won themselves game tickets to the All-Ontario, courtesy of Nortel Mobility and Northern Telephone.
Could be a pretty scarce prize come that series.
I'll tell you. Well, it's already sold out, so, and then I believe they get to pick the games they won, the cup games they won, so that's good.
Can't beat that.
No. Peterson dumping it into the Sudbury zone, knocked down by Dan Petrie. He gets it up the center, but Burnham's there to check him. Both teams checking fairly closely right now, and both hustling to get back and pick up their men. So that's okay with the Cubs. They have the 3-0 lead. They'll settle for that. Walk out of here with a 3-0 victory. That'll be just fine with them. Peterson keeps it in at the line. Second shift there for big Dennis Marks, number 22. He rifles it off the boards down the ice. Stoney's going to have to play that. And Major's back. Oh, Major. Put it right on the stick of Derek Arsenault, but he wasn't in a position to get a good shot on goal. Here comes Sean Scott, the captain of the Cubs, working his way in front. They score! Peterson moves up, and I think he popped that home.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a pretty play, and the one Sudbury player was busy at the Cub blue line mixing it up with the Cub defenseman, and of course that left them outmanned in their own end. Cubs made no mistake, and that makes the score 4-0, 12:04 remaining in the second period.
And again, we'll unofficially give that to Robbie Peterson, and I think that'll be the announcement. The Sudbury players now back talking to Navarro, trying to encourage him to hang in there and don't give up the ship.
Well, I don't think Navarro's the problem.
No. That was a nice play. A good read by Robbie to move up, and he was unchecked. Cubs right back on the attack, right from the face-off with a 4-0 lead. Right in front of the Sudbury goal, and it's cleared out and down the ice. Spatafor chasing it there against Bain. Bain taking him to the boards, though. He can't get the puck out in front. Joel gets a hold of it, comes to the line, not out. Cleared it front off the skate. Stroney will play it. Banned on the first attempt, got it on the second, and out to the center, down into the Sudbury zone it goes. That's icing against the Cubs. They lead it 4-0, and we'll be right back.
The face-off will come back down into the Cub end, to the left of Stroney. We'll see who takes the draw here. Looks like McLean will move in for the Cubs. Koutsoukis will move in for Sudbury. 11:25 left here in the second period, and we're going to have a goaltender change here as number 30, Mark Henderson, moves into the Sudbury net. Now, I don't know whether Navarro might have had a little problem after the last save or not, but there's been a goaltender change here midway through this game for Sudbury. Mark Henderson is in the net.
Okay, and that's basically about halfway through the second here, so we'll see if Mr. Henderson can do something Mr. Navarro couldn't.
Well, Jack,
get back in the game.
It seems to me that there's a bit of a trend happening here in the second period. The Cubs are skating and controlling the play a lot more than they were in the first period, and Sudbury just can't handle them here in the second period, and they've got to tighten this game up a little bit, or they're not going to come back. Or there will be no chance of them coming back. Let's put it that way.
I think Sudbury just trying to shake things up, change their luck a little bit with this goaltending change. Again, as Jim said earlier, certainly not Navarro's fault that they scored 4-0. Seaman behind the net from the face-off off the glass and goes to center, and Jeremy Miller will catch up to it there. Tried to shoot it in, blocked. Seaman knocking it down with his glove as he jumped in the air. Now he peels off. Oh, that looked like a high stick, but the Cubs will come back the other way. McLean. He's got Miller in front. There's the pass. Henderson gets his first cast, a pile up in front of the net. And Miller knocking his man down. Katsoukas in front. And we'll get a, I think we might get a penalty or two here. Looks like the referee's heading that way.
Not just sure what the call could be on that. I guess there could be roughing, I suppose, but it seems to me there was a couple players that were involved. Looks like there's only going to be one penalty, and that will go to Steve Alexander. So it would appear that the Cubs are going to play short-handed here, and quite surprised at that, because I noticed that there was a scrum to the left of the Sudbury net, and there was no call on that. So the Cubs will play short-handed again, enjoying a 4-0 lead, and we'll see what happens.
Well, this is an opportunity for the Capitals to try and get back in this game somewhat. They'd down 4-zip now, but the Cubs killed off back-to-back penalties in the first period. So a face-off outside the Sudbury blue line. The Caps on the power play here. Gallo in against McLean. Sudbury wins it, and they'll try and set something up as they come to center with it. Nick Jones fires it in. Around behind the net it goes. Sakalaris on the boards to big number 22, Marsh. Comes in front of the Cup goal. And Gibson fanned on the first attempt, got it the second time, and gets him down the ice.
They've had that second effort a lot of times, haven't they?
Oh, geez. Well, they're there. That's the main thing. Here comes Bondi, knocked down at center. Comes in control, and high in the air down the ice it goes. Oh, that Anderson. I don't think you realized where that was. That almost went in. Now the net comes off, and we get a whistle.
Well, up to the halfway point here in the second period, the Cubs have certainly had a big territorial advantage, and as we've mentioned a lot of times, the Capitals have to find a way to get on the board and have to find a way to control this Cubs scoring machine.
And as you said before, easier said than done.
Oh, for sure, and they didn't tie the record, was it?
Yeah, for the most wins and most points.
That wasn't a mistake.
No. Even McCarthy couldn't screw that one up. That was that was black. Okay. Sudbury on the power play here for the next minute 14, but so far they haven't had too much going with the man advantage. Cubs have done a good job. Stoney will play it around the boards. Pierce fires it back the other way. It's at the side of the Cub goal. Major rifling it off the glass and to the line, but not out. Kept in on the far side. Deloge right in front. Dennis deflected wide by Spatafor. And Pierce almost got away, but the Caps keep it in. Chopped out there by Arsenault, and the Cubs finally get it out. So close call there again, but the puck does not go in the net. Deloge. 33 seconds left in this Sudbury power play. Here they come. Spatafor off the side of the net. Spencer tried to center it. Arsenault battling in behind the net. Here's Sudbury trying to get out in front. He's being checked in there by Peterson in the corner. Krieger. Now Major reaches in, grabs the loose puck, and finds the opening and gets it down the ice. 10 seconds left in the power play. Sudbury will have to hurry now to get another chance with the man advantage. Deloge. Into the middle it comes. Tipped up. The penalty to the Cubs is over, so they kill another one off. Nick Jones
against the Cubs, Jack, it looks like, I think the signal was 4 white.
Yeah, it was.
And it looks like a roughing call, so Cubs will be short-handed again. And it doesn't seem to affect them a lot. They've been able to kill the penalties fairly successfully. In fact, on that last power play that Sudbury had, Cubs were pressing.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't really get too many. Well, they had the one good chance where Spatafor deflected it wide. He looked like he had Stoney beaten, but that's been the story for Sudbury. When they have had chances, it's just been close calls and no goal.
That's right.
So the Cubs shorthanded again with 8:50 to go here in the second period. They have a 4-0 lead. Sudbury won the draw, but couldn't get a shot away, and here comes Brown back the other way for the Cubs. He's got Scott going to the net. He's checked, but Scott picks up the loose puck. Sean Scott dragging that puck in the Sudbury zone, keeping it away from the Capitals. Doing a great job, and he's still with that puck. What a tremendous job he was doing in there. Killing off time. Now they get it back. And the fans giving him a well-deserved round of applause for that. And the Cubs shoot it down the ice. 1:27 left in the Sudbury power play. Scott again. Steals the puck away. Oh, and he almost threaded the needle of Brown. Now here come the Capitals. Back the other way. Marsh, number 22, dropping it back. Put it right on the stick of Seaman, and he fires it down the ice. 1:04 left in the Sudbury power play. Petrie gets it up on the wing. There's a pass that went astray, goes down into the Cubs zone. Gibson's going to get to it. Turns and fires it down the ice. Right on the goaltender, Mark Henderson. He plays it up. Nice pass by Henderson, the goaltender, to get it up. Now a breakaway. Spatafor in now, and Stoney comes up big again. Here comes Petrie again. Sudbury with 31 seconds left on the power play. And it's cleared up and out of play. So again, Jim Stoney coming through.
Boy, Stoney's having a great game here tonight, Jack. And, you know, we're just over halfway through this game. He's been solid. There's been a couple breakaways on him. And he's been there. Very impressed with the Cub goaltending here tonight.
And the goaltender for Sudbury, Mark Henderson, made a heck of a play on that breakaway. He caught the Cubs snapping a bit and fired it up quickly, and it was a bang-bang play, and he was gone.
Cubs are pressing on the penalty kill.
They're always pressing. They never stop doing that. 24 seconds left in the power play. Stoney makes another save right off the face-off. They'll do it all over again to his left.
I'm not sure that the coaching staff were really pleased with the last couple penalty-killing efforts of the Cubs, because I can hear the comments down from here, and they feel that they're not playing probably enough in their own end. And they're leaving the defensemen sometimes a little bit understaffed.
So another face-off to the left of Stoney.
But like we said earlier, Jack, you do what you do best, and they did this all year.
Yeah, that's right. McLean got Sukas in the draw. Sudbury wins it. There's a shot from the point. Was off the skate to the corner. Albiani trying to kick it free in the corner. McLean battling for it. He can't come up with it. Now Albiani again. Drops it behind the net. Chasing it over there is the Katsukas. Comes in front. They whack at it, and McLean will get a hold of it, but not out. And now it's gloves from one Sudbury player to the other, so we'll get a whistle, and the penalty is over to the Cubs.
And the shots on goal in the second period to this point, the Cubs have 10 shots on goal, and the Sudbury Capitals have 8.
So the shots have been fairly close all night.
Yeah, they sure have.
But the Cubs have made theirs count, and Sudbury has been unable to do that. Major off the boards to Miller. He backhands it up to the Sudbury line. McLean couldn't catch up to it. Now back comes Miller and over the line. Miller's got McLean. Oh, and he just failed to get him the puck. Now it comes right in front, and the penalty coming up here to Sudbury.
Number 18, 15, I believe, gets the penalty for Sudbury. Albiani will get the penalty. Very lucky he didn't get a 5-minute call on that one. Boy, I'll tell you, you can hear it all the way up here. 6:33 left here in the second period. 4-0 the score in favor of the Cubs.
Andrew Eager liked that comment.
Oh, did he?
You could hear it all the way up here.
Well, you sure could.
Sometimes you hear things up here you don't want to hear.
Well, that's right. We won't talk about
No,
those.
we can't talk about it.
You can talk about them Sunday night because you're going to have the chief here.
Yeah, well, that's true, yeah. This is a family show, though.
And he can get away with it and we can't.
I have to warn him Sunday that this is a family
That's
show.
right.
You got to be careful. Yeah, there's some things that he can say that nobody else can ever get away with.
You're right.
Big Greg Major from the face-off in the Sudbury zone. I don't know what he's doing in the corner, but he's doing a good job of it. Controlling the puck. McLean taking his spot at the blue line as they... Here's McCrank in front. McCrank staying with it, turns and fires. And that went off the stick up over top of that. Then Joyelle had a little trouble with it at the line, couldn't keep it in. Pierce, puck hit the referee. He has to backtrack to pick it up. Gets it to Joyelle. Over to Major. Up for Burnham. He was checked at the line. Krieger battling for it now in the Sudbury zone. Now big Andy Burnham hops on the loose puck. Tried to center it off the stick. High in the air. Joyelle pinching in. Here's the Pierce at the point. Slides it over to Major. Walks in, lets it go. Oh, and Krieger was at the side of the net and the puck was bouncing and he couldn't convert. Down into the Cubs zone and goes Stroney out to play it. Clears it up. Burnham tipping it up to Krieger. And it was just behind him. Now the Capitals just turn and fire it up to center. Joyelle, Major, Krieger, Cubs moving the puck quickly here. Back they come. Here's Burnham walking in. He's got Safiris. And a nice play by the Sudbury defenseman. Deloge to go down and block that pass. And the Caps just want to get rid of it to center. Krieger back the other way quickly now for the Cubs and over the line. Safiris loads one up and right on the save there by Henderson. And the Capitals get it out and down the ice off of Joelle's stick. So no icing. And Stroney will play it for Safiris with 4:45 left here in the second period. There comes Burnham to Safiris. Dumps it in. Burnham chasing it. Goes to the boards with Deloge. To the right of the Sudbury goal. Safiris moving in, trying to dig it free. Spencer in there. Now we got a pile-up and a face-off upcoming in the Sudbury zone. I think those guys were pretty tired. There wasn't much gas left in the tank there.
There sure wasn't. I was watching them go in there, and one guy looked at the other guy, and he just zipped to say, well, are you going to take it or am I?
And there wasn't much zip in the skating as they chased it.
There sure wasn't. 4:27 left here in the second period. Actually, it's been a pretty good game, Jack. Really, all kidding aside, Sudbury come in here as big underdogs, and they're putting up a pretty good effort. They look to me now like they're getting tired. Of course they would be. I mean, this Cub outfit throws a strong line out at you every shift, and you're going to get tired chasing those guys around. And the Cubs are starting to take the body a little bit, and that could hurt Sudbury's game.
Brevard out there on the draw for the Cubs to the left of Henderson. Sudbury will win it, and Bondi fires it around the far side. Swain knocked down. Here's Marsh picking up a loose puck on the far side. He couldn't control it. Battles against Gibson, though, in the Cubs zone. Throws it back to the point to Bondi. Here comes the shot through a screen, blocked in front, then Scott grabs it and clears it off the board to the center. Jake Gibson in the corner. Plays it around behind the net. Seaman fires it back onto the near side, and that's up and it'll play with 3:58 to go here in the second period. Reminder, in our second intermission, Stephanie Staines will be along with a local news update, and we'll let you know who our trivia winner is, our winner of the Cashway Pinewoods trivia.
And you know, Jack, we must have done something wrong, because normally when we do these broadcasts, Denise offers us Rolos and that kind of stuff, and she hasn't offered us any tonight.
No, you just got to steal them.
Oh, you just got to take them. Okay.
I'm giving you your own
There it is.
Rolos.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Just go ahead. Jim, whenever you want. Don't be shy. Sakalaris up but on a play again it goes. So another stoppage.
Looks like they're just playing out the second period here, Jack. You mentioned earlier that they went in on that last play and there wasn't a lot of effort, and there hasn't been in the last couple of minutes. There's been a lot of whistles.
I think Sudbury is just trying to figure out what they have to do to get back in this game, and they're running out of time is the worst part of it for them.
Well, they sure are.
And the Cubs haven't changed a thing. They're just playing the same way they have right from the start. And it's worked. Off the glass to center it goes. Here's John Scott in over the line. He's got Brown going to the net. Loose puck in front. And Henderson's down and a pile up in front. Lamar took a whack at it. Now we have a shoving match in front of the goaltender Henderson. He bails out of there in a hurry. He's had enough of that stuff. And I think we're going to get more penalties here.
Well, for sure we are. Don't know what precipitated that. Nothing, I guess, really. Just a little bit of a mix-up there. Probably a player from each team, so that'll just open up the ice a little bit more for the Cubs. That's not in Sudbury's best interest, really, because the Cubs have too many sharpshooters to play for a side, and with 3:37 remaining here in the second period, the score is only 4-0, and I say only 4-0 because that, for the Sudbury team, they have to be happy with that. I know they expected to come in here and have a tight game, but they're playing a team that scored an awful lot of goals, and they've held them down to 4 goals to this point in the game.
And the Cubs got the extra 2 on that call. And they're not happy about it.
Well, I've made my comments on that for the night, and I'm not going to take any more of that, listen to any more of that.
Okay. You don't want me to bring it up again then?
Well, sure, you can bring it up, and you can review it on Sunday night with the official.
Critique it.
But get it critiqued.
Oh boy, when he critiques you, that's scary.
He's tough.
He is, isn't he? Boy. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. On Sunday night, I'll critique him.
Hey,
and I'll let you know.
I want a report.
I'll let you know how he does. Now, if he critiques me and tells you that you don't listen, right?
No.
Okay. Capitals on the power play again with 3:23 to go here in the second period. So far, they've come up empty tonight. Puck at the side of the Cup goal. They're trying to jam it in there, but Strode, who has been solid all night, solid again on that, but then freezes it and hangs on. And the Cubs have been alternating their goaltenders right through the season and right through the playoffs, and so far it's worked just fine.
You can't argue with that. Arts had a good game tonight. They had a great season. Can't get a lot better than that.
No sense changing things now.
No.
Face off to the right of Strode. We've got 3:15 to go. 1:38 in the Sudbury power play. Arsenault jumping around the man with the draw. Spencer gets it back to the point to Petrie. On the board, Spencer again. Throws it in front. Deloge moved up. Control puck into the corner. Goes Spatafor. Behind the net, Arsenault trying to one-hand it out front. Spatafor can't grab the loose puck. Comes to the line and off the glove of Petrie to center. And McLean almost got away. Deloge onto an open wing. Scott's going to get there. He's pinned to the boards. Comes out to center. Bain. Scott and Spencer got their sticks up a bit. Now hustling in there is Arsenault. He's got a partial break. Walks in. And Strode stopped that. It comes back to the point. Deloge lets it go. And a nice glove save by Strode through a screen. Well, Sudbury's trying everything around that goal, but they can't beat Strode tonight.
They sure are, and they're fairly aggressive around the Cup net, I notice. They're aggressive around their own net as well. And I guess that's okay, that works, but the Cubs haven't been playing as physical in the last 5 minutes as they started the first 10 minutes of this period, and that's when they were really taking the play away. And I think they've got to get back to that. I don't suggest that they take penalties or that type of thing, but I think they should play the body just a touch more. They're a big team, they're a good skating team, and they can play that kind of game.
48 seconds left on the power play. They win the draw. There's a shot from the point. Oh, and another big save by Strode. As Sakalaris took it from the face-off and cranked it on goal.
Hey, this guy's for real tonight. I mean, he has just been great. And you talk about a confidence builder? This is it.
For sure.
The Sudbury guys are skating around and looking at each other and more or less saying, what do we have to do to buy a goal against this guy? Just been great here tonight.
Yeah, they've had their chances in this game. The shots are fairly even in this contest.
They sure are.
And they've had a few power plays here to get the opportunities, but as we said, so far they haven't been able to score. Sakalaris is not going to keep it in, and Spears just takes his time and slides it down the ice with 36 seconds left and the man advantage for the Caps. Spears stealing the puck inside the line. He's going to look back now, throw it back to center. Ooh, the Major fanned on his pass. There's a centering pass from Marsh. He couldn't catch up to it. Swain couldn't control it, and the Cup will get it out and down the ice. Henderson playing it there for Sakalaris. Comes out to center. Krieger back the other way. He's got a man right on him. Just killing time though. Rags it, throws it back into his own zone. The penalty is now over to the Cups, so they kill off another one. Sakalaris behind the net. For the Caps, he'll skate it out himself. Andy Burnham staying right on top. Here's Greg Major. High in the air to the corner to the right of Henderson. 1:17 to go in the second period. Cubs lead it 4-0. Puck slides down into the Cubs zone where Seaman will take it. Turning away from his man. Sudbury changing, getting all tangled up in front of their bench. And that almost struck McLean free. Less than a minute now to go here in the second period. Centered out front. Oh, and Andy Burnham had the upper corner. And right in front of Cubs, and he gets it on the second track. Andy Burnham.
Well, if you don't do it right the first time, do it again. And that's exactly what he did. He was just standing out front there, nobody bothering him. It looked maybe like a practice. And just a pretty goal, another pretty goal. They've had quite a few of them tonight. 5-0.
With 49 seconds to go, you'd have to think that would break Sudbury's back for sure if they hadn't already had their back broken.
That's really going to hurt. That's really going to hurt. And I don't know what the coach can say now going into the room at the end of the second, potentially down 5-0.
Well, they'll have to open it up, and the Cubs will feed off that, you can be sure. Back they come again. There's time for another one here. Miller walks in, and Henderson stops him. Now back come the Capitals. Lead pass up to Kotsoukas and over the line. He's got a man in front. He couldn't get him to puck, and Miller takes it for the Cubs. 23 seconds left in the period. Here's McLean. Off the stick, high off the glass. Into the corner it goes. McLean centering it. McCrank off the base of the net again. That's twice tonight he's put one off the base of the net. Capitals just trying to get rid of it. Joyelle will keep it in at the line. Nice play. Chops it to the corner. Penalty coming up here. An elbow.
Another white penalty. Miller gets the penalty on this call. And it's an elbowing penalty to Jeremy Miller. That penalty comes with 2 seconds left here in the second period. And boy, this Cup team is pretty rough. They're a rough hockey club out there.
That's been all minors here tonight, and a relatively tame game, really. I mean,
well, it has
compared
been.
to past games we've seen.
It has been a tame game, and well, what do you say?
7 minors to the Cubs to this point, and just 3 to Sudbury. And that does it for the second period. So the Cubs will start the third period short-handed. And what were the shots in that period?
I've got 15 shots on goal for the Cubs and 12 for Sudbury, which gives you a 2-period total of 29 for the Cubs and 26 for the Sudbury Nickel Capitals.
Close on the shots. The chances have been pretty even, but it's the Cubs who have scored 5 times. So for you people watching on Cable 12, don't go away. We'll be back with the third period right after this. Okay, we are ready to get period number 3 underway. The Cubs will start this period short-handed for 1:57. We welcome all those people watching on Cable 12, and of course, we welcome all our listeners here on CJDT Live. And we'll be back Sunday night with Game 2 live on CJDT 7:20 with our pregame show. Mike McCarthy will be sitting in for Jim Moore, and of course, Mike Cutting is always back at the station and keeping us on the air, doing a great job. Thank you, Michael. Sudbury on this power play trying to get their first goal of the game. Bundy from the point, and he had the corner, but he missed by about 5 or 6 feet. Behind the Cub net it goes again. Swain will go to the far side. On the boards for Gallo. Back for Swain. He's looking in front, trying to find an open player. Gallo can't handle it behind the net. Catches up to it. Twice in front, they try to jam it in. Comes back to the point to Bondi. Along the boards to Swain, but Scott intercepts. Now Gallo takes it away. Power play Sudbury here. Early moments of the period, they try to jam one in, and again, Stroney makes 2 saves there and hangs on at the side of the net.
Well, the play in the Cub end, of course, the Cubs are short-handed for another 57 seconds. Sudbury did not get a lot of scoring chances. They did have 2 shots just at the end of that sequence of play, Jack, but the play was in the Cub end, and it was staying there.
Well, as you said earlier, you know, the Capitals have done some good things here tonight. They just can't score on Stroney.
Well, if they can keep the score down in the third period, they've got something to build on.
For Sunday night, yeah, you're right. Of course, the Cubs are just going to keep, as we said before, doing what they're doing. They do it well, better than anybody, and they're on you all the time. They kill off penalties better than anybody in this league. They've done it. They've been perfect so far here tonight. 37 seconds left in this Sudbury power play. Here's Spatafor now coming back for the Caps. And offside at the Cub blue line.
Yeah, it wasn't offside. A little bit quick whistle because the Cub player had control of the puck and could easily have cleared that out of there and kept the play going. But it's easy to call them from up here. And the officials generally do a good job down there. So we'll let them call the game and we'll just comment on it.
Well, now they do a good job. But I remember back, in the 70s and early 80s, there was a couple of guys that refereed around here that I'm not so sure.
I'm not touching that one.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm not sure. You'll have to give me a physical description.
I don't think I can do that. How do you describe him physically? Puck up and out of play, we get another stoppage.
Jack, I'll tell you, you're asking for a lot of trouble.
I'll give him something to talk about on Sunday night. Did I give it away?
I think you did.
Goal scorers for the Cubs tonight, by the way. Curtis McLean, Sean Scott, and Jake Gibson in the first period. And in the second period, Robbie Peterson and Andy Burnham. And we sit with the Cubs leading at 5-0. And Art Stroney's had a very good game in the Cup goal here tonight. He's had some tough shots to handle. Sudbury's had their chances. The shots are fairly even. And he's come up big. And the Cubs will get it and down the ice. And that will do it for their Sudbury power play. And again, the Cubs are perfect now. Sudbury's had 7 cracks at it. The Cubs have killed them all off. Krieger dumps it into the Cap zone. Burnham in there against Petrie. Petrie goes down. Burnham trying to kick it free. He's pinned to the boards. Around and comes to the point. Joyal gets it out and fires it right back in. Henderson, who replaced Navarro at about the 11:25 mark of the second period. He's allowed just the 1 goal since he's gone in. Here comes Safiris. Couldn't get the return pass from Krieger. Burnham dumps it in. Safiris will have to clear the zone. Come on, getting it out to center for Sudbury. Major breaks that up, and Krieger tried to slide it in. He was checked. Katsukas. Now here comes Jones. Clears it in. Stroney plays it to the corner. Major takes a whack at it, doesn't get it out. Krieger beats Katsukas to the puck, and Burnham comes away with it. Gets it up to Safiris. He couldn't handle a pass. Katsukas has a little trouble, overskates the puck, and now we have got a penalty here, or a couple of penalties.
High-sticking penalty to number 2 for Sudbury, Nick Jones, and I believe that'll be the only penalty, so it looks like, no, I guess I'm wrong. Andy Burnham's going into the box, so thought maybe the Cubs might get a power play. They don't. They'll play for a side, and last time that happened, there was a Cub penalty called right after the play started, and Sudbury went on the power play. This time, if they play for a side, I'm going to predict that the Cubs will get another goal.
Okay. Well, you know, when you come to these games, you see some real characters, and as I look on the far side, I see a very strange character walking along there, Lester Gador.
Yeah.
Les living over on the Quebec side these days. Nice to see him back in Ontario, and we'll see if we can get him run up town soon. Here comes the Cubs. Rivard turning on the speed, cutting around his man, sending it right to the crease, and nobody was there. Another penalty here, and it's going
Another
to the
white
Cubs.
penalty, Jack, and didn't I call it? That's what happened the last time that they were offsetting minor penalties. The Cubs got a penalty right away, and they get another one, and it looks like Sean Scott will get the penalty. 16:21 remaining here. The score 5-0, and Sudbury will go on the power play again.
I mentioned earlier about the Armstrong Motors Old Timers Tournament on this weekend in Halebury and the 54s Boomtown Tournament in Cobalt. And next weekend we've got the NOHA Novice here in Liskeard and the NOHA Batum in Halebury. So bang, 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 here we go.
I'll tell you, the ice surfaces are at a premium these days.
They sure are. And of course the Cubs will head to Sudbury next weekend for Game 3 on Saturday night and Game 4 Sunday afternoon if necessary.
And you'll be doing varied reports, Jeff?
Right, we will be doing that for the people like we did from the Sioux. And I thank Don Shepardson, by the way, for his great cooperation last weekend and for cooperating with us again next weekend when we get to Sudbury. It's always nice to get along with people and have help, isn't it?
Well, for sure it is.
We don't want to get into that, though, do we? The cooperating and amalgamate? No.
No problem.
Seaman fell down, but he was able to recover and throw Swain off a bit. It comes in front of the Cub goal. Gibson will chop it out the center. Slides down the ice. The Lord goes back for it. Captain of this Capitals team. In behind the net he goes with Brown up there hustling. Marsh. Gets it over to Deloge, up to Gallo. Offside. The pass to Marsh at the Cub blue line.
But you know, Jack, just to follow up to that comment that you did make, and I think it's fair to say that you wouldn't realize just how much shared services there is in the area till you sit down and actually start listing them. And I'll tell you, there's a lot more than you think.
Yeah. I think that's been going on for quite some time, too.
Oh, it sure has. And the only time that you hear a lot of ruckus about anything is when there's a disagreement over certain things. And, of course, naturally, the papers print that type of stuff a lot quicker than they do the other stuff.
But the radio doesn't put it on. No comment?
Well, I can't comment on that right now.
Maybe after the game. When you put the mic down. 1:13 left in the power play here for Sudbury, and there's a lead pass in over the line. Arsenault centered it for Spatafor, and what happened there? Well, Strode looked like he hurt himself a bit there, but he's stretching out that left leg.
Well, I think with the score 5-0, he's going to stretch it out, and if there's any way of staying in there, he's going to stay in. I'll tell you, that was a good scoring chance, and it looked like it deflected off the defenseman's stick.
Yeah, I was wondering, but it sure got up over that glass in a hurry. So again, Sudbury getting a good chance, but they can't get it by number 30 tonight. He's been strong in there. Still flexing that leg, though. I hope it doesn't get back to haunt him somewhere along the way. You know, those injuries have a way of, when you wake up the next morning, it's, ooh, I can't move that leg very well.
That's for sure.
1:03 left in this Sudbury power play. McLean's going to get it to the line, not out. Bondi will keep it in, throws it on goal, deflected to the corner. Spatafor turns and fires in front, deflected, they score! A power play goal by Derek Arsenault.
Well, that makes the score 5-1, and they worked to get that goal, no question about it. They had a good scoring chance about 15 seconds before that, and certainly Art Stoney not happy to lose the shutout, but Jack, the name of the game is to win the game. If he lets in a goal or two, that's no big deal. As long as the Cubs score more than the other team, they win the game.
And they're still up 5-1.
That's right.
And, you know, he almost had that one, too. He made the initial save and almost grabbed that rebound. Just got up over top of him and floated into the net. So it's 5-1 now for the Cubs. Derek Arsenault scoring on the power play for Sudbury here. 4 minutes into the third period. Here comes Jake Gibson back the other way for the Cubs. Sapiris right in there. That shot was blocked. So you can see the Cubs want that one back in a hurry, don't they? Sapiris sees one up. They score! There it is. Did Alexander get a stick on that one?
It looked like he might have, Jack, and you made the call comment that they wanted to get that goal back in a hurry, and they did that all year. That seems to be the price you pay for scoring on them. They come right back down and score one on you. And we'll see who gets the goal here. It could have been Alexander, I'm not sure. The shot did come from near the point area. Could have been deflected.
The Cup restore that 5-goal lead and now lead it 6-1. And the signs come out again in the crowd. Gibson back in his own zone. We'll wait for the official announcement on that goal before we make it official. We shouldn't second guess ourselves.
No, we sure should.
Alexander.
But then you got to have some fun, Jack.
That's true. Seaman taking to the boards right in front of the Cub bench. Slides the puck sliding into the Cub zone, and Gibson will chase it down. Finds it in his skates. Alexander checked as he tried to turn and fire the puck out. Now Gibson has it again. Here comes Sapir. He's checked. Katsukas can't get it out. Sapir picks up the loose puck, turning away from his man, throws it into the slot. And it's cleared away, and Spatafor was tied up by Seaman. And it goes down the ice, and it's icing. It's 6-1 for the Liskeard Cubs, and we'll be right back.
And for the benefit of the people watching on cable, the Sudbury team has outshot the Cubs in the third period 4-2 up to this point. They've each scored a goal. The face-off will be in the Sudbury end. And Arsenal will take the draw against Brown. Puck is kept in, cleared to the other side, to the point and out.
Back
all the way
line,
down ice.
13 Liskeard Arena. Playoff hockey here on CJTT. I'm Jack Moore with Jim Moore, and on Cable 12, Denise Crayford and Andrew Eger. Glad you're with us here tonight in this opening game of the 75 semifinal. Cubs coming in, Rivard. Oh, he just missed there. Joyal takes a hit as he plays it in behind the net. Side of the net it goes. Here's Scott picking up the loose puck. Rivard fires one off the stick. And it's cleared to the line. Joyal will keep it in. Good job there by Joyal to break up that play. Sudbury trying to break out. Bain. Cubs trying to catch the Capitals changing and just failed to work. Bain moves up, clears it in. Brown trying to catch up to a loose puck. Joyal again moves up, and back comes Sudbury. And a nice play by Bain to stand his man up the line, and now we've got a penalty coming up here to the Cubs again. Holding the stick against the Cubs, so they'll be short-handed again.
Well, I missed that one. I guess he was holding the stick.
Yeah.
It's Luke Joyal gets the penalty. I did notice that there was a fair elbow fired there by somebody in blue, but I guess that was undetected. We've got 12:46 remaining here in the third period, and very unusual for the Cubs to take this amount of penalties in relation to the visitors. We didn't see that all year.
No, we haven't. But it hasn't hurt them here tonight, which is a good thing. There's a shot from the point. Hits a body and caroms out of harm's way. And McCrank picks it up and shoots it down the ice. 12:35 left in the third period. 1:48 on the Sudbury power play. As McLean's up there forechecking, trying to kill things off. Now Major moves up, intercepts the pass on the line, and keeps it in. Sakalaris. Right to the center now. Here's McLean back the other way. 1:27 on the Sudbury power play. McLean intercepting a pass inside the line, trying to center it. Now Sakalaris will pick it up and retreat in behind the net, trying to set things up on this power play. Gets it out to center. Frank played it off the referee. Shot into the Cub zone. Major after it against Marsh. They bump. Marsh goes down. Centered out in front of the net by Gallo. McLean was there. Spatafor Hustling up there, trying to pick up a loose puck. Tries to work his way in front. Check. Major and Spadafor go to the corner, and Major takes a shot at Spadafor with the right hand, and I have a funny feeling he might be heading to the penalty box.
Well, 22 has moved in there, Jack, and 22 certainly should be part of the action as well. We'll see what the call is. It would appear that they should, Greg certainly should get a penalty. 22 should get a penalty for coming in as well, and maybe Greg will get a double minor. Hard to say.
He took a pretty good shot at little number 8 there with the right hand.
He's been a bit of a pest at number 8, Spadafor. He's in around there. He's in your face all the time. 22 is going to get the penalty for Sudbury, roughing, 2 minutes, and Greg also gets a 2-minute penalty, I believe. Hasn't been put on the board yet, but we'll just watch and see. Score remains at 6-1.
I guess the Cubs are going to get the extra 2 out of this one again, by the looks of it.
It appears that way. Well,
I guess the right hook was the difference there.
That was the difference. Well, you mentioned that it hasn't hurt them up to this point tonight, and I don't think that it will as far as this game is concerned. They've got a pretty big lead and sitting pretty comfortable right now. Not a lot of time left in the game, Jack. Time is becoming a factor for Sudbury.
Had Sudbury been able to capitalize, I think, early in this game on some of those power play chances and made this game a little closer, I think these penalties would really loom large here right now. We'd be going, wow, they got to stay on the penalty box.
They sure would.
I don't think that they want to take as many penalties regardless of the 6-1 lead. But
well, if you look at the shots on goal here in the third period, Sudbury's got 4, the Cubs have got 2. It's been a slow third period, nothing like the first and second period. And if that's what's going to happen from here to the end of the game, the third period will be the worst period.
So Miller is going over to sit this one out. Cubs, they got 3 guys in there.
They sure have.
They've had guys in there all night, it seems. So with 11:22 to go here, Sudbury will try their luck again. This time a 2-man advantage for 33 seconds, and a lead pass to Spadafor slides right into Strode, and now Gibson. And who is that? Number 2 Price on the side of the net, pushing and shoving.
Can't pick up the number, but Spadafor was sitting on the blue line here behind the Cub defenseman, and the puck was moved up to him fairly quickly, and it could have been a good scoring chance, except that the Cubs made a great defensive play. I thought it was Seaman that made that defensive play.
Yeah, I think it was number 7. Yeah. 2-man advantage for 28 seconds here for Sudbury. There's a shot from the point, blocked in front. Scott's going to pick up the loose puck. Skates into center, makes a nice move, and still hanging onto that puck. Has a little trouble with it, gets it back to Seaman, and he finds that opening between the defense, down the ice it goes. So the 2-man advantage is over in 6 seconds. Sudbury will have to hurry here. We'll get another rush with the 2-man, and that pass goes off the stick of Petrie down the ice. Cubs short-handed for 1 minute and 4 seconds now. The 1-man. Jones gives it away at center. Now he picks it up. His own pass up, drops it back, put it right on the stick of Krieger, who is submarine. Kept in at the line. That shot goes off the skate wide. Now a penalty coming up here to Sudbury as Krieger was flattened.
Well, that was a pretty vicious cross-check by the Sudbury player, Arsenault, and we'll see what the call is here, Jack. I think we lost a piece of equipment here. Denise, were you sitting on that, or what happened? Now we've got a scrum going here. Safiris at number 2 from Sudbury, and Safiris is giving him a pretty good pummeling at this point. Nick Jones, the Sudbury player.
Well, the only difference is that Safiris still has the cage on, and
Jones doesn't.
Jones doesn't, yeah. That was a pretty good tussle.
Well, Jack, I don't want to criticize the refereeing. We said that earlier. But this guy that they brought in here tonight has done nothing to call a good hockey game. I don't think he's been in the play all night, and I don't like to say that, but I'm going to say it because it's hard for kids 16 and 17 years old to be disciplined when they're getting hacked and slashed, and the refereeing is not what we saw all year. And this is the type of stuff that you're going to get when the score becomes 6-1. It's up to the official to control the game, and he's not doing it. I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it.
And Pierce and Jones went at it good, didn't they? They were throwing it pretty good. And they're both gone from this game. They'll get 5 for fighting, I guess, in a game misconduct.
Well, I guess Denise called that one because she certainly had told us at the end of the second that the third was going to be a rough period and there was going to be some problems.
Now we'll have to see who comes. I'm sure that the Cubs will come out with a power player because initially Krieger was flattened in the front of the Cub goal, and I think it was a penalty coming up to Sudbury.
Well, you might be sure, but I wouldn't bet on it.
You would think that that's what the call would be. Jimmy's standing in the doorway. He wants to see what's going on out there.
Well, you know, I mean, it's...
Well, Krieger's going to the penalty box now.
Well, Krieger's going to get 2, for sure, because Krieger did do a bit of roughing or high sticking, whatever you want to call it, at the start. But Arsenault gave him a couple of good shots. Arsenault should have got the double penalty, but I'm not sure that he did.
I don't think he did.
So we'll see what happens here, and we'll get it all sorted out, Jack.
10-17 left in the third period. The Cubs with a comfortable 6-1 lead here in Game 1 of this best-of-5 semifinal Game 2 Sunday night, right here at the Liskeard Arena. You won't want to miss that one. Should be a dandy.
Well, they could be remembering a few things come Sunday night.
Sudbury's called the timeout, and with the score 6-1 for the Cubs, we'll be right back.
Lots of action here at the 10-minute mark in the third period. Not the type of action that we were looking for. We had mentioned that the game had slowed right down, and it certainly had. The face-off is going to be in the Cub end. We did have an altercation between Nick Jones and Tim Safiris, and I think Safiris maybe got the better of that little exchange, Jack.
We are back live at the Liskeard Arena, still waiting the face-off here. Sudbury had called a timeout. I think that's what they did anyway. Now they're just coming back into the play. So now what's the story? Sudbury looks as though they've got the power play here.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, 47 seconds. Okay, so everything's sort of sawed off on that last little tussle. Skates it behind the net, avoids a check. Bondi pinching in, and Brown tried to get loose. Joyelle gets a hold of it to the line, not out. Cleared in front of the net, deflected. Bondi keeps it in at the point for Sudbury. Played it over to the side of the net for Katsukas. It was too hard of a pass. He couldn't control it, and the Cubs get it, and out to center. 15 seconds left for the Sudbury man advantage. Goes down, Scott steals the puck, get over the line, and he lost it, and back comes Katsukas. Around Bain he goes, throws it up front, and nobody was there. He was going too fast for any of his teammates to catch up on the play. And it's up and out of play, and the penalty to the Cubs is now over. So,
well, not much action as far as shots on goal here for the Cubs in the third period, Jack. They're still stalled at 2. Sudbury got 6 shots on goal in the third period, but the score remains 6-1, and time is running out.
I think the reason why the Cubs shot total is down tonight is they've spent too much of the time in the penalty box.
They've been there quite a bit.
Whether it's their fault or the referee's fault or nobody's fault, I guess that's just the way it's been. There's a shot that Stoney has to stop. It comes back to the point through a screen. They score! And I don't know. I think that might have went all the way in off the stick of the defenseman, Bruick. Might have hit a Cub player in front and caught the corner.
Looked like it might have hit the Cub player's stick. 6-2 the score here now. And just to clarify, Jack, you know, we talk about the penalties and this type of thing. We don't want to blame the officiating, but when you get into a series where one team is fairly superior in the skills aspect. The other team are certainly going to take some liberties, but when the skill team is the team getting the majority of the penalties, it's different.
Yeah, that's true. 9:15 left here in the third period. 6-2 Cubs. Sudbury back on the attack, trying to get another one. Bruick, who we assume scored that last goal, clears it in. Sudbury getting a little more aggressive at this point of the hockey. Oh, Derek Arsenault gets it. Well, there's a shot deflected. So Arsenault gets his second of the game. Here come the Cubs back the other way, dumping it in. Miller up there with McLean. Can't control it, shot to center. And McCrank turns and backhands it to the Sudbury line. Lucas gets it to Swain. He just dumps it high in the air, down into the Cubs zone. And Bain goes back after it. Alex Bain. McCrank. Back into the Cubs zone and goes. Here's Curtis McLean at center. Put the Cubs in over the Sudbury line. He's checked. Taken away by DeLoge. Respouta 4 too hard. Now he gets it back again. And putting himself offside there with Lucas at the line.
Oh, we're getting the penalties sorted out here now, Jack. In fact, most of them are over.
And Zafiris and Jones got the 5 in game as we expected.
Yes.
That was one of the better fights I've seen in a while.
Pretty good. Stand-up affair for a while there.
Throwing those right hands pretty good in there. I think Mr. Jones probably has a sore hand, though. He hit Tim Zafiris square on that steel cage 3 or 4 times, barehanded. I wonder if he'll have a sore hand come Sunday night.
I would guess that he might.
Here comes Dave Brown. Out to center, backhands it into the Sudbury zone. Henderson comes out and plays it all the way back to the Cup line. Doyle checked at center. DeLoge up off the board. Spencer. Spatafor going to the net, but Seaman, nice play to break that up. And back out it comes to center. Scott stealing the puck, gets it up to Rivard. He's got Brown going to the net, but he can't catch up to the rolling puck. He goes down in the corner. Out front, Scott. Fired it just wide. Seaman keeping it in. Moves in. Lets him go right on. Rebound. The goaltender can't control the puck. And now we get another penalty coming up.
Roughing penalty coming up, Jack.
I think that's going to...
Number 4.
Dale Baird. .7:14 to go here in the third period.
Third period's been a fairly scrambly affair. A lot different than what we saw in the first and second. The Cubs are full value for the score that's on the board. They have a territorial advantage for sure. The shots on goal, though, they don't have the big advantage in shots on goal. The Sudbury Capitals have outshot them in the third period here, 8-4.
And then when's the last time we were able to say that? Some of the outshot Cubs in the period. Andy Burnham in the Sudbury zone, dumps it to the corner to Krieger. He's checked, pinned to the boards, and the Caps fire down the ice. They're shorthanded for the next minute and 46 seconds. Boy, this is the first man advantage the Cubs have had in quite some time.
Yeah, it is.
I can't remember the last time.
They may not know what to do with it.
That's true. Greg Major over to Alexander. He's flattened at center by Petrie. Spatafor and Major battling in front of the Sudbury bench. Robbie Peterson back to the puck. He has a goal in this game tonight. Nice pass up to Krieger, and he was gone had he been able to control that, but it slides into the goaltender, and now he's calling a penalty on Krieger, I believe, for giving the goaltender a bit of a shove there. Well, he's been consistent that way, hasn't he?
Well, he sure has. The score has been consistent too. It's staying with quite a spread, 6-2 in favor of the Cubs with 6:23 left here in the third period. And my guess is, Jack, for Sunday night, I think you're going to see Sudbury come out. If tonight's game is any judge and they bring another neutral official in, I think they'll come out at the start of Sunday night's game and they'll hit everything that moves. They'll use a different game strategy than they've used here tonight. Because the third period, they've been taking the body a lot more than they have the first two.
Well, there was scuttlebutt in the lobby before the game that Sunday night will be moved to referees. That could change, though. We do have a day between games. Puck cleared off the boards to the center by Sudbury. In 49 seconds, Sudbury will go on the power play. Here comes Bondi. His pass intercepted by Bain. Alex Bain backs up in his own zone. Spatafor right on him. He gives it to Joyelle. He gets it back to Bain. Up off the boards to McLean to center. Pass over on the left side to Miller. Lets it go. He shot it wide. Off the boards it comes. McLean can't catch up to it. And it comes out to center. Joyelle turning away from his bat. Plays it off the boards. And back come the Capitals. Arsenault winds up. Lets it go right on. And Stroni covers up with Spatafor right in on top of him. We're looking for another penalty here, but I don't think we're going to get one.
No, I don't think he didn't make any effort to slash or hack at the goaltender. He was in the goaltender area, but certainly no penalty on that play. The time running out here, as we've said earlier, Jack, and you're going to be here Sunday night, and our friend's going to be here, Mike's going to be here with you, so certainly make sure that I do get a report on your critique.
No problem. And of course, you'll be back for the next series.
Well, I sure will.
I guess we're making a prediction.
It sounds that way.
We can do that. Doesn't mean we're going to be right, but I think we got a good shot at picking this one.
Well, actually, if you want to be fair about it, the Sudbury team to surprise tonight's game should have been the game that they would want to surprise with.
Right.
I think they've got a lot better, or they had a lot better chance in tonight's game than they should have in Sunday's.
Penalty to Sudbury is over, so they go on the power play now for 46 seconds. Out there up front trying to kill this thing off for the Cubs, Scott and Brown. And they can be very dangerous short-handed. Here's Marsh for Sudbury in the Cubs zone in the corner. Scott right on top of him. Here's Clement at the point. Having trouble with Brown all over him. Gets it to Katsukas, and he fired it high up over top the net. Clement shooting, blocked by Brown. Loose puck, Scott's there, and he'll get it out. Plays it up on the wing for Brown, who goes down. Grabbed off there by Albiani, and probably got a two-liner.
Yep.
4:23, Jim, left in this hockey game, 6-2 for the Cubs.
Yeah, not much to talk about at this point, Jack, because virtually the game's over. It should be over at this point. I think that the Cubs are quite content to leave the score the way it is, and I think Sudbury is quite content to come out of this game as close as they have been, which hasn't been really close.
No, not really. But Sudbury has had their chances. Probably some of the best scoring chances I've seen against the Cubs in quite a few games.
Yeah, you're right about that.
But Stroni had a very good game here tonight for the Cubs in goal. Played strong. Spencer trying to center that. Blocked. Swain over there. Can't do anything with it. Bruick intercepts at center. And that went off somebody up and out of play. So we'll have another stoppage as this period is starting to drag just a little.
Well, it sure is. And you mentioned that Stroni's having a very good game. He is. And he had a very good game when he had to have it, which was early when the score was 2-3-0 in favor of the Cubs. It could have been 3-2, 3-3, but it wasn't.
And when it was 0-0, he made some saves on back-to-back Sudbury power plays in the first period. Some big saves that kept it scoreless. Then it was just a matter of time before the Cubs got things rolling.
Yep, that's for sure.
This game basically was decided in 1 minute and 23 seconds in the first period. When the Cubs scored those 3 goals.
That's right.
Swain trying to center it out front. Here's Clement. He fell and didn't get much on that, and the Cubs intercept and get it out to center. And that was could have been, but what hand pass. Alexander shoots, and Henderson kicks it up another play. 3:33 to go here in the 3rd period.
Well, it looked like it was a gloved pass, and they got away with one, but at this point it really doesn't have any bearing on the game, and I noticed that a number of the crowd have filtered out of here. It's getting a little bit empty looking, but I look upstairs and it's getting very full, so I suspect I know where they are.
And you're heading right up there after this game to work.
Well, that's right. We've got to volunteer our time, you know, and we're going to do that tonight for sure.
That's where the big guy is, right?
That's where the big guy is.
I hope he doesn't have a radio up there. We're in a lot
I think he's running the show tonight.
Doesn't he always? There's Miller behind the net, battling in there with Bondi. McLean gets it back to the point. Bain one time to right on. Rebound. Puck's loose. We get the whistle. The puck went in the net, but the whistle went before it was the goal was scored and McLean was flattened. Well, we're watching to see. We're going to get another penalty here.
Not quite sure what's going to happen here. McLean picks himself up off the ice. The official is moving to the penalty box area, and it looks like number 16, Dan Titry, will get the penalty, but at this point, it shouldn't mean a lot. 3:16 left in the game. The Cubs going to put this one in the book. And look to Sunday night. This is a 3 out of 5, I believe, Jack.
Yep, they all are.
And they all are, okay. So you've made your prediction.
Are you going to make yours?
Well,
go out on a limb.
Well, if the Cubs play their normal game, they could sweep.
Here's Bain. We couldn't keep it in at the point. Well, I just felt that the games would be closer than the Sioux, but the Cubs would win them all, win the 3 of them, and it'll be over. Here comes Spatafor. He's been a pretty good player tonight here for the Sudbury team. Backhand shot. Nice save by Stroney. And Miller right there to take it away. Well, I'll tell you, the Cubs don't give you second chances too often, do they? Here's Burnham right into the slot. Lets it go. And that hit the defenseman and go wide. Hard to tell from here. But it stays out. And Sudbury just gets rid of it. 1:11 left in the power play for the Cubs as they try and catch Sudbury changing again. Quick pass up. Burnham tipped it up, but it's picked off by Bruick. Joyelle falls inside his line. Gallo in front of the net for Spencer. Nice move. Turns, and he fanned on the shot. Bain recovered enough to throw him off just enough. Krieger can't get away. Now here's Brown backing up the play in over the line. Throws it into the slot. Burnham trying to get loose. Buck's sitting there, and Gallo takes it away. Now Burnham and Bruick are throwing punches at the side of the net. And they better be careful here, because with a couple minutes to go, that might have repercussions in the next game. They might have to sit.
This is not the time to get into a scrum for sure. And you know, Andy's played a pretty good game tonight. He's been around the puck a lot. He's been full value out there, and they need him on the ice for sure against the Sudbury team. But I really think Sunday night's game will be an aggressive affair, and I think this Cub team better be ready for it. They can play, as we mentioned earlier, they can play any kind of hockey you want to play, but tonight they've been content to play the finesse-type games.
So we get penalties to Burnham and Bruick. As we add to our total here. Cubs have been penalized here 10. 14 minors, 5-minute major and a game misconduct. And Sudbury, 9 minors, 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Here's Seaman. Gets it to Krieger. Scott under the heel of the stick. Sakalera's backhands it. And I guess they're calling that side at the Sudbury line. 33 seconds left in the Cub power play. 1:49 in the 3rd period.
Not much happening here right now, Jack, but a little bit of noise coming out of the fans.
You always get some great comments. And sometimes they tend to leak through these microphones. And if you're listening very carefully, you may hear something you don't want to hear, or maybe you do want to hear. Sean Scott, he's had a good game here tonight. As you mentioned, Jim, it's played one of the best games we've seen him play in quite some time.
I haven't seen Sean play better than this.
Especially shorthanded. He was amazing shorthanded tonight, telling fellas, oh, and Jake Gibson. I don't know what he was thinking there, but I think he picked himself up. Here's Brown trying to come in, and Henderson makes the save. Jake got a little confused there, and then he...
I don't know who's sharpening the skates for this Cub team, but whoever sharpened them for this game, I think they better have a look at them, because those guys have been falling down tonight quite often.
You know, the easy thing to do would be blame it on the trainer.
That's a hell of a
Do you think Al Roy could... We got him. You'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Krieger will take the draw to the right of Henderson in the Sudbury zone as we wind this one down with 1:17 left. Gallo wins the draw. They flip it high in the air. The Sudbury players out of the penalty box. He was onside. There's a shot. Nice save by Strode. Off Petrie's stick. Gibson back the other way. Dumps it into the Sudbury zone. Around behind the net it goes to the far side. Krieger in there against Bondy. Scott picks it off. Centered in front of the net. Comes back to the point. Seaman into the corner. Scott knocked down. Puck comes loose. And coming out with it is Katsukas. Petrie right on. Strode had a little trouble now. Penalty coming up here behind the play, and a hooking call being called. And is that going to Seaman or to the Sudbury player? Looks like it's going to the Cubs.
Yeah, you're right, Jack. Seaman gets the call.
Again.
33 seconds left here. The score is 6-2, and the third period been a reasonably dull affair other than the after the play activities. But as far as scoring plays and that type of thing, it certainly wasn't as interesting as the first and second period.
McLean, Scott, Gibson, Peterson, Burdham, and I believe Safiris in the third period. Now, we never did get the official on that. Remember, I
didn't hear the announcement.
It might be Alexander. It might have been Safiris. I'm not quite sure of that one. We'll check with the coaching staff after, and listen to CJTT tomorrow morning when I do the report, and we'll give you the exact goal score. We don't want to ever cheat a kid out of a goal.
What time will that be, Jack?
That'll be on at just before 7, just before 8, and somewhere around noon.
Okay.
You'll hear it a few times. 13 seconds left in this. Oh, and Petrie took a run at McCrank, and he's going to go for sure.
Well, I guess there's not a lot more we can say at this point. We know what's going on out there. We can see it, but the score is 6-2 in favor of the Cubs, and that's really the long and short of it. With 6 seconds remaining here in the third period, it's just a matter of getting this thing over with and getting the two teams off the ice and getting ready for Sunday. Yeah,
Sudbury will have a day to think about this and figure out how they're going to stop this Cub machine, and the Cubs will just probably have a skate somewhere tomorrow, I would think, or maybe rest up for Sunday.
Oh, I think you're probably right. They'll probably have a little skate, a little loosen up deal, but nothing serious.
I don't know where they're going to do that, though. Cobalt's booked, Halebury's booked, and well, Engelhard might be open. Fired around the boards up the center, and that does it. The hockey game is over. The Cubs are up 1-0 in this best of 5 semifinal, a 6-2 victory. What were the final shots in this one, Jim?
Well, you're going to think I did this on purpose, but I didn't. The shots on goal are dead even, 39 for each team, and the score, as everybody knows, is 6-2 in favor of the Cubs, and I guess we'll come back and wrap it up, will we, Jack?
We certainly will. We'll say goodbye to the people watching on Cable Club, and hey, don't go away. We'll have more Cup hockey for you from Game 2 this series a little bit later on. We thank you for watching.